Hey Drew, I haven't had the chance to play the new Smash DLC yet, but I see you're playing Smash, so who's the new character?
Well, it's the hero.
The hero of what? The hero of time?
Ooh, no, it's the hero of slime.
Those sneaky devils.
Oh, wasn't that a bit cheeky?
That's pretty cheeky. Oh.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, the award-winning Nintendo podcast, backed by 120 Power Star rating, and the doors to episode 109 are open. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and joining me, as always, is my beautiful BD. It's Bryce DeWitt.
Oh, we're almost at 110.
We are, yeah.
Holy crap.
110. Is that the special number for you?
No. That's 10 numbers off of 120.
Yeah,
so
well, you're not wrong.
There's 120 Power Stars right there.
Yeah,
be able to get on top of the castle, see the Yoshi, the polygonal Yoshi, the good old one. Yeah.
Did it take when you were a kid? Did it take you over 2 years to get all 120 Power Stars in Mario 64? Or
probably. I wasn't really a completionist back then, so.
You beat Bowser for the third time. You're like, I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Do I have to get 100 coins on every level? Nah.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Some of those levels were awful to get the 100 coins. Like,
yeah.
I always go back to Bob on Battlefield. I'm like, I'm going to get 100 coins just to get the one-ups and stuff. But
yeah.
Like the magic carpet and all that was awful.
Yep. Yes, it was.
That was awful.
The Rainbow Ride, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible.
Nah.
And that sunken ship one? Oh, boy.
If you're going back to Mario 64, I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
No.
To go and get that stuff. That's just a hard level in general.
Yeah, it's an annoying level. Sincerely annoying.
I mean, the Smash Bros. Level on it isn't too flash either.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah.
Definitely not fun.
So
why are we talking about Rainbow Ride?
I don't know. Why not? This week on the show, we've been playing a bit of Fire Emblem 3 Houses. We've got new Smash characters and DLC and much more. So we'll start off with Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Bryce. We've been playing it a fair bit over the weekend.
Yep.
And it started this week.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of it? How's it going?
Well, so as you know, I got on my little Fire Emblem kick mid this year.
Yeah.
So I was prepped and ready to go, ready to play some more Fire Emblem. I'm pretty impressed with it so far. I think the thing that grasps me most about it at the moment is that social interactions with your actual characters are so much more vast than previous games. At least I feel that's the way it is. Like being the position you're in, being a professor and going day by day with the lessons and all that, and like who you're going to focus on, and then being able to do things with students and teachers, like go singing or tea party or just little stuff like that, and then cultivating your own garden and just running around Garreg Mark in general is like, it's great. Honestly, I feel like I'm really glad they still have the weapon triangle there to some degree. But it's only in the form of skills. So now the game is much less based on swords beats axes, axes beat lances, lances beat swords. It's no longer that at all. It's more focused on how you raise your character and what you do with them. If your characters are smart, so if they feel like they want to go a particular route, they'll approach you and push on. And I feel like that's the biggest thing that's caught me in this game so far is the character interaction. The only thing that I have bad in that is that I feel like the characters aren't as memorable as some of the other ones that I've played. I feel like they're a little more generic.
Yeah, I guess we haven't played our way through the game just yet, though.
No, we haven't. No, yeah. But I know that at least in Awakening, I'd already built for the same amount of time that I've played, I'd already built a shit ton of knowledge on these characters, and they've become memorable and stained in my mind, and but I haven't got that so far with this. I mean, we'll see where it goes, but that's not to say that it hinders the experience too much. It does exactly what it means, but it just means I might get to the end of this game and I might go, oh yeah, there's that character that exists. I can't remember their name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I don't have that sort of relationship with Fire Emblem Awakening. With Fire Emblem Awakening, I kind of just remember most of them, if not all.
Yeah, I guess I'm the same way. I haven't put a whole lot of time into it just yet. I'm just like at the 5 hour mark pretty much. But yeah, I can't remember any of my sort of classmates just off the top of my head just yet.
Yeah.
But you know, when you get the 20 hours and that, you might like really like some people and really hate some other people and all that. But I guess just going into the houses, what house did you choose?
Black Eagles.
Black Eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought I was going to choose the Black Eagles, but I got sort of hung up between the Black Eagles and the Blue Lions. I'm like, and I ended up going Blue Lions. I could have easily gone either side, but it's just the fact that like I'll get something different to Bryce when we can sort of like talk about our experiences and the differences and all that.
Yeah, and obviously we'll talk about it more as we've played more. I think like the biggest thing is that, as they've said, each playthrough can take 80 odd hours. I don't know how much of that holds true. That could be true. That could not be true. Don't really know. So I mean, we'll just go down the pipeline, see how it goes, I guess. But
I've seen no one on Twitter come out and be like, I've finished it yet. So I think it's definitely a long game.
Oh yeah, it's 100% a long game. I think the definition of long depends on what you define your game as. Like,
yeah,
at least when I'm running around Garrick Mark and stuff like that, I'm always like looking to find little activities to do, like fish or whatever, or go and check the confessional box for notes. And
yeah, you're always taking your time, sort of, when you're getting around.
Well, here's the thing: is with this game and with Garrick Mark Monastery in general. It really embraces that feel of like, there was always in Persona 5 there was always that loading screen, always had the loading icon. It was take your time, and it made sure like it made that visible at every step that it could without being too jarring. This is very much the same. It's like take your time and make sure you choose your decisions
right. Yeah,
like right, and you sort of work on it on a level where you're understanding everything that's going on around you, because while I'm not up to the point yet, I'm going to assume that it's going to get to a point where there is no return, and it's going to be very hard to go back on the decisions that you've already made, and like who you've tried to really focus on and stuff like that. And, I don't know whether there's going to be character deaths or betrayals or whatever or anything like that, but with these characters that you're working on, there could be that.
Sure.
You don't know. Like, so I feel like that sort of embraces the same feeling as what it is in Persona 5. Take your time, make sure you sort of working on what you want to work on, and make sure you build the best experience you can. So yeah, I think like that's the thing I'm focusing on at the moment. I think I'm on 20 hours.
Yeah.
So I've still got a lot to go. I'm up to chapter 7, I think. So yeah, still got time.
Yeah, still got heaps of time.
Yeah. I don't know how many chapters there are in the game in total.
25. I've got no idea. I'm just guessing. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying like the presentation of it all, the cutscenes, and just the graphics in general. I know like they're not like the most impressive graphics out there, but I think they are enough to draw me in more than past Fire Emblem games. Yeah. Like I've said in the past that it's the sort of the turn-based strategy of like the grid-based sort of combat that doesn't really draw me in as much as say like a normal turn-based game.
Yeah.
And like playing like the couple of battles I've played, I'm not drawn into that aspect as much as I would like to be.
Yeah.
Like I just want it to capture me and bring me right in. But I think all of the other stuff with the presentations, the cutscenes, the just the characters in general, I think that's what's going to really draw me in.
If you want. Here's a bit of a pro tip, because it's something I didn't realize until like further in. When you're on the battlefield, if you press plus a couple times, you'll find yourself in full range movement mode. So I
did hear about that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can move around with your army and sort of do it that way. It sort of puts you in the perspective picture a little bit more.
Yeah, it might immerse me a bit more if I prefer like third person games. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give that a try next battle.
And I mean, with the news we'll talk about soon anyway, you can see where that all fits in through who's actually made a lot of this game.
Yeah.
They have got like that sort of architecture there. You can tell when you're running around Garrick Mark, the stylus this has come from.
You can feel like just the movement. when you think about it, yeah.
My major question is going to come once we actually talk about the article. But I feel like, with this game getting all the scores that it's getting, like 93 to 9.5 or all that sort of stuff. I feel like I've got a long way to go, but I'm in for a hell of a ride. So I'm not gonna talk too much about it. But when the time comes and I've made my first playthrough, I really want to have like a good discussion about it.
Yeah, for sure. So do I. Yeah,
but
we'll probably eventually do like a sort of half review, half spoiler cast type of real deep dive into the game.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Whenever that happens, it might be 6 months from now. So I don't know how long this game is, but
well, yeah,
it won't be that long. Just
you've got to try finish this one before Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, before Pokemon. God, I hope so.
Yeah, you got to finish it before Pokemon, because once Pokemon comes out, I know that we don't have the most positive outlook on Pokemon at the moment, but I'll
be playing a lot of Pokemon.
That'll absorb our time.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Well,
so
even before then, I'm really excited for Dragon Quest XI S coming to Switch. That's one of my most anticipated games, and that's September. And the next big first party release is Astral Chain, which is the end of August.
Yeah, so it's 28 days away.
Yeah, so they're pumping out games, Nintendo. Like this is going to be the second half where it's just loaded.
Oh yeah.
I bought Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I was really keen to play it, but that week I literally could not get to it. Didn't play it. And now Fire Emblem's out, which is just a huge time sink.
Yeah.
And I haven't even played it yet.
No. And I can see it right there on your Switch. You've got it right there on your screen. It's like right in the corner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the corner, like away from the 4 titles on your screen right now are Smash, Fire Emblem, Oninaki, and Taiku no Tatsujin. And then Ultimate Alliance is half cut off on the other end of the screen.
Yeah.
Shows me that you haven't been playing it.
I haven't been playing it, no.
No.
And obviously I spent $80 on it, so I do want to play it. And it will get played. It will get played eventually.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, it's another one of those, because at the moment I've just got that real itch just to level up characters. Mm-hmm. So Fire Emblem is really good for that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance is really good for that.
Yeah.
We've got Dragon Quest and Pokemon, which are going to be fantastic for that.
Yeah.
I think in Astral Chain you can, I don't know if you level up, but you do gain experience where you can put into skill trees for your arsenals.
Yeah.
So that'll be good for that. There's going to be a lot to scratch my itch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
And I wish they were there like a month or so ago, because I was like really just scratching and I was bleeding, but nothing was really
there.
Satisfying,
Yeah. But, oh well, Fire Emblem's here now.
Actually, that's what I was doing with Pokemon Let's Go. I was just chaining chances. I just had to level up something, Bryce, for goodness sakes.
Oh well, Fire Emblem's here now. Concentrate your focus into that.
No, well, I am when I'm playing my Switch.
Good.
Yeah. Apart from Smash today, which we'll get into. I've been playing a bit of Smash.
Obviously, yeah. But yeah, I think for now was the general consensus from both of us is Fire Emblem's really good. Yes.
I mean, at the 30-hour mark, it might be rubbish. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
I don't think it will be.
No, I don't think it will be. I think it's going to be pretty consistent all throughout. So far, that's what my gut is telling me anyway. But it's pretty good so far, and I think we'll talk about it more next week. Obviously, reviewers had this in their hands for 2.5 to 3 weeks before reviews even came out, which already tells me enough that us talking about it now, not even a week later, probably not. We're not going to put all our thoughts on the table. We'll wait till we're done.
No, of course not. Yeah.
I
think everyone else is in the same boat.
Of course.
Like, I think people would have put maybe 30 hours max. Like, you put 20. Probably the next person who might have had a couple of days off or something would have put 30.
There'd be them people that just I'm just going to binge the fuck out of Fire Emblem and beat it in 3 days. And they probably did. But,
Well, going back to Pokemon X and Y, when that came out, when we all caught up.
We binged it in a day.
Well, I almost did. I played it for 17 hours in one day.
Yeah.
And I got to 4 o'clock that morning, and I'm like, I better go to bed. I didn't actually want to go to bed. I wanted to keep playing, but I just all right, it's 4 o'clock, man.
Yeah. Go to bed. You fool.
I wish every game I obsessed that much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe not. It might affect my life pretty negatively if I'm like that.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be talking about it more next week, more than likely. So.
Yeah. So we actually got a fair few. Oh, not a fair.
We will talk about the news around it though.
Yeah, we've got a few articles based around Fire Emblem Three Houses. So first of all, Fire Emblem Three Houses was primarily developed by Tecmo Koei. Now, I was going to read through this, but Bryce, you said you'll
Yes.
bit of a limited time here for the podcast tonight.
That's right.
So
I can sum it up for you very nicely.
do it for me, man. Sum it up for me. And if you would like to read the snippet on My Nintendo News, the article will be linked in the show notes if you would like to go and read the thing.
For sure.
And they have a link to the Famitsu interview as well.
That's right. So the general consensus is that Intelligent Systems, the guys that usually make Fire Emblem, lended a team to Koei Tecmo. So they had a team to work with them on a Fire Emblem game, and that's how they ran it. Now Koei Tecmo obviously did most of the work, which is huge because obviously we see a lot of support from Koei Tecmo in the forms of like them porting their old games and new games like Fire Emblem Warriors and stuff like that. And I guess Nintendo or even just Intelligent System were just like, you know what, these guys could probably do something really neat with this game in their hands. And obviously Koei Tecmo, they developed the Romance of the Three Kingdoms series, which is obviously been a huge strategy RPG ever since the late 80s.
Yeah.
So putting it in their hands was like a stupidly smart idea. Like it's definitely not unwarranted. They know what they're doing with their strategy games. They have one of the longest running strategy games in like current existence. I think it's up to 13 now. 13 Romance of the Three Kingdoms games. That's huge. But it's also just like the mechanical stuff that they've put in Fire Emblem Three Houses that is so Koei Tecmo. Like just moving around Garreg Mark like at the speed you do, like seeing the environments, how they're not ultra high res, but like they're enough to sort of service what you've got to focus on. So like the battles,
like they do have like a nice art style, but there is a bit of jank there.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, like you can tell that it was made in the Koei house. I'm obviously a fan of those Musou games that they primarily develop nowadays. And I love Koei Tecmo. I think like they're kind of just like the chill guys that kind of just keep spewing out the same shit. And a lot of people were just like, oh, you know, Call of Duty's doing the same shit. These guys literally do the same shit, but they release new versions like Dynasty 8. They put out Dynasty Warriors 8, and then Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, and then Dynasty Warrior 8 Legends Extreme, and it's all literally just variations of the same game you're paying full price for.
Awesome.
But the thing is with it as well is that the way they've modeled it is if you want to play this game as a more story-based game, here is 8 normally, and then there's Empires where you sort of build your own battles, and then Extreme Legends I think is more like a definitive type of story version type of game, which comes later down the line, which is, you know, whatever. But I'm glad to see like they've been given something that they're experienced enough in. They've managed to incorporate elements from their two biggest series to enliven it a bit more with the ability to run around Garreg Mark, and
I love that.
You know, yeah.
Like I know, like in Fire Emblem Awakening, we had like that sort of level select.
Yeah,
that was a good step, I feel. But actually having to be able to interact with everything, I think that's brilliant.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like it adds so much more life to the world and stuff like that. And then like their battles, like it's obvious that, you know, they didn't move anything too far from the formula. They just revolutionized the Fire Emblem formula, made it a bit better, and made it more centric to what the game is actually about, and that's your characters. And I think that's why everybody loves this game, because with Fire Emblem in general, it was all about like, here's the weapon triangle. If you don't follow it, too bad. You can lose your units, permadeath.
Yeah,
your own fault. You know what I mean? But now it's more like, hey, look, you can develop your characters any way you want, and they'll have like immediate effectiveness. There's only one rule that you have to follow, and that is that flyers are bad against bows. End of story. But they do have resistance to magic. Yeah. So those are the only class that have a real trade-off now, is flying mounts. Wyverns and Pegasus. So I think it's very obvious that their influence has really soaked into this and sort of created a game that not only is about the world around you, But a game that was also a series that was also primarily focused on the characters is also now more so focused on the characters, because you don't have to go, oh, hey, look, I need this guy to be a lance, or I need this guy to be an axe, or I need this guy to be a... You just do whatever. You sort of just develop the characters any way you want them to go. There's no reason for you to stick them all in one category that's best for them, sort of thing, which is great. I think like it adds more varied experience. You could go ahead and make Claude a priest if you wanted to. Like,
You make a good priest.
Make a good priest.
I'll go to the church.
He's always making sexual innuendos. You make him a priest.
Oh dear. At a school.
At a school.
But he is a student though. So.
He is a student. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing about those characters that specifically say, oh, hey, they have to be this to be their most effective.
Yeah.
It's great, you know? And the balances are pretty good all overall. And I think, like, with Koei Tecmo's influence, they've actually managed to really hit a high ground here. In saying that, I'm kind of wondering where Intelligent Systems is going to go, because the only Fire Emblem property they're managing now is Fire Emblem Heroes.
Right, yeah.
And it's obvious that, at least for the last couple games, Intelligent Systems has just absolutely nutballed it and has not done very well in terms of ratings. But Koei Tecmo's killed it. I feel like Intelligent Systems lost their way after Awakening success, and they were like, oh, we can just start charging shit tons for DLC or, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it was just Echoes that sort of had that problem though.
No.
It wasn't Fates though.
Yes, it was Fates.
Oh, because they split
Fates
them up.
had 3 games.
They split them up. Yeah, that was... Yeah, because I know if they did that with this game, if they split up like the 3 houses into the 3 games, that would be
bullshit.
Yeah, that would be bullshit. Especially now that, you know, it's a console game, it's an $80 game. Yeah, it's not a $60 game. Because like it's the same thing with Pokemon. You know, splitting it into 2 versions is like, all right, this is no, don't do this anymore, please.
Three houses is what Fates should have been. Yeah, and like I understand they can't fit it all on one cartridge and whatever, and it like
but they did.
Yeah. But exactly. In Liberation.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's just sort of like, well, whether Intelligent Systems can sort of get their shit together and get all that right or whatever. Koei Tecmo, being the main developers of this game, are probably the ones that are going to be developing the DLC as well. So I'm sort of curious to see where the season pass goes, considering the controversy of the last season pass Fire Emblem had. So I guess we'll just see.
Yeah. This is just a paragraph from the interview. Just say, in regards to staffing, Intelligent Systems provided Koei Tecmo, sorry.
Yeah.
With a minimum crew of several designers, a music composer, an advisor to the programmers, not including myself, of course. Then we left Koei Tecmo in charge of the basic game development. So, yeah, it would be interesting to see what Intelligent Systems is doing, because if they're outsourcing Fire Emblem, which is one of their major franchises they're responsible for, it would be interesting to see what they're doing, because obviously they do plenty of other things as well as Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great. Koei made a great Fire Emblem game.
I'm glad to see them in sort of a partnership, and I think like a couple of people have sort of said it before. They're just like, oh, they really should be partnering with Nintendo and all this stuff, and this is it. This is their partnership. Yeah. Fire Emblem is a huge series in Japan.
Yeah, with Fire Emblem Warriors, obviously, a partnership got sort of formed there with the people in charge of Fire Emblem and at Nintendo. And
well, even with Hyrule Warriors, that was like their first big step into partnershiping with Nintendo. In general, they were like, holy shit! And then I guess Intelligent Systems, which were intrigued, and they were like, hey, would you want to do that with Fire Emblem?
Well, yeah, they've always been like a good third party developer on Nintendo systems, but now actually working with Nintendo directly, it's really good to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, especially because like a lot of their games, they don't interest me, but having Nintendo's money and backing, this is what they can do. You know, they can get 9.0 rated games on Metacritic.
Yeah, no joke.
So I guess this is a bit of a bit more of a negative slant on Three Houses, but Nintendo replaces Fire Emblem Three Houses main character male voice actor.
Yeah. So why can't you just call it Byleth?
Byleth. Yeah, just
that's exactly what his name is. It's what the female's version's name is Byleth.
So just before we get into this, I know a lot of people would have already heard about this.
Yeah.
But What did you choose, male or female?
Female.
Female. I know what you chose. I'm just asking.
Yep.
I chose female as well.
Yep.
Because, and I talked to you about this before, Fire Emblem, no other games really do it to me, but Fire Emblem really gets the weeb out of me. Because I'm like, all right, I want to be the pretty girl. Then like, I'm choosing my houses. I'm like, oh, she's pretty.
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird, but I'm like, yeah, it gets the weeb out of me. It really does. Like, there's no other game. Oh, I guess Hatsune Miku might, but I guess that's more the music. Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'm just a weeb. I'm just a shadow
You're
weeb.
a closeted weeb.
Yeah, I'm closet weeb.
Closet weeb.
Yeah, just like Dash where someone's like, do you watch Match Anime Drew? I'm just like sweating. No.
I'm just a closet weeb.
I'll just look at the pictures. But basically, this is I'm going to read the article from My Nintendo News. So, Nintendo has confirmed to Game Informer that they are replacing the voice actor of the main protagonist, Byleth, in Fire Emblem 3 Houses with a new male voice actor. The moves comes after numerous sexual misconduct themed allegations have been made against Chris. Now, help me with the last name, Bryce. Chris.
I can't see it.
Okay. Noski. No. Oh dear.
Nioski?
Noski. That'll do. You know.
Hang on.
There you go. Tip that for you.
Niosi.
Niosi.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everyone. He also provides voice work in Fire Emblem Heroes. Nintendo says a new voice actor will record the parts and his work will be included in a future patch. Now, it is weird that this came out just as the game launched. There's a bit of an unfortunate blip on what should have just been a positive story of a game coming out to critical success.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm playing as the female, and I have not heard her talk. So I'm interested to see what...
You hear her talk sometimes when you level up and stuff.
Oh, yeah, but... Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Link. It's like changing the voice actor for Link. It's like... He does a great job, but I'm sure someone else can do a great job as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I can't tell you exactly what kind of sexual abuse allegations were made or whatever or anything like that.
Yeah, it was on his... what's that website called? I forgot that. What's that one? We're all. I can't remember now. I'm thinking of Tinder. It's not Tinder. Tumblr. That's the one. He posted on his Tumblr page apologized to everyone that he needed to apologize to and everything. But I didn't get too much into it because personally, I'm not that interested in it.
No. Yeah.
I'm not going to read all about this guy's problems.
Yeah. I'm not all about cancel culture either.
No, I'm not. We're not about that. And just because he's in a Nintendo game doesn't mean we have to go and talk about all these awful things he's done.
No, absolutely not.
Let's not give him any oxygen.
He probably recorded 5 lines for Byleth, and that's all he did. So
yeah, and I did see on Twitter the guy who got announced as the new voice actor, but yeah, I've put up an article that doesn't have it. So sorry about that.
No, it doesn't matter too much. Either way, his voice is getting replaced. That's what matters.
Yeah,
if you really care about it, then. Cool. It's getting done. Really doesn't bother me either way.
Yeah. And I guess last off, this is just a little bit of news for Fire Emblem 3 Houses. So, My Nintendo is now offering 3 different box art covers for Fire Emblem 3 Houses. So, each cover has different house leader for each of the houses. And you get these through My Nintendo. And they are also on the Australian store as well as the American store and UK store and everything. And you can get them for 50 platinum coins. So that's basically nothing. Really.
Or just download them somewhere on the internet.
Or you can do that too.
They're absolutely beautiful covers though, and I really want them. But the only problem is I don't have the goddamn paper that's necessary to actually print proper covers.
That's the thing. So I assume the paper wouldn't be that cheap. It wouldn't be that expensive either, I wouldn't imagine. But it wouldn't be that cheap either.
No.
I don't know. Do you need a special printer to be printing gloss?
I have no idea.
Oh yeah, I've got no idea.
I think you would have to go into...
Harvey Norman or
something like that and go, hey, look, I'm trying to print these these specialized covers for my games.
That'd probably be the way to go, actually.
Just
take it in, yeah.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah. Well, personally, as someone who loves physical games, but it has all their games just downloaded, I'd love to just get all these empty Switch cases and just get covers for all of my games and line them up. Yeah. Because I don't need the game card anymore. I don't need to be mucking around with them and putting them in and all that. But I'd love the boxes. I'd love the boxes. You love it, don't you?
I just think it's fucking hilarious when you say that, but then I like turn around behind me and there's like 500 fucking DS games and shit.
I don't have 500 DS games. It's like 50, but yeah, it could be 500. Yeah,
You just have a lot of physical games.
I do. Yeah, except for Switch.
You have more than I do. In total, across every fucking console.
You have more than I do. So
in DS games.
just in DS games, we keep it. You'll miss the trade in. You trade them in.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I like trading in.
that's fine. I don't. So that's why I've got more. All right.
Sooner way better anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, if that interests you, pretty cheap. I've got nothing else to spend my coins on, so I don't really. They just keep on growing and growing. I don't spend. They don't have anything interesting. This is the most interesting thing in years, I think. Unless you want.
They had the Octopath Traveler ones. Those were cool.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, 8 of them. They were all.
Oh yes,
they were really cool.
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
Like I would have loved them as well, but you know.
Mm.
Obviously, I didn't get them.
No, you did not.
No, I don't have 8 empty Switch cases.
No. I wonder if you can buy them. Just like.
Oh, you'd be able to.
Yeah. I know like DS and like all the other cases, but
yeah.
All right, let's move away from Fire Emblem, Bryce. I know it's a subject close to your heart, but we've got to keep going, mate.
All right, mate. All right.
So, Nintendo Switch is no, that's what I was going to say. Basically, Nintendo's had its financial report again. I don't know how many bloody financial reports they have. I feel like there's a financial report every second month.
That's why. Yeah. Okay. So.
So
let's make this quick, shall we? We talk about financial reports all the time.
Yeah, just all the time. We catch up like, hey, so yeah, Nintendo Switch sold. Oh, nice,
cool.
Yeah. So there's just a few numbers. There's nothing too much, but Nintendo Switch has, as of the end of this month, has sold 36.87 million units, which is great.
And Mario Maker sold 2.42 million.
Yeah, and
I'm pretty sure that was like within the first 3 days.
Yeah, it was the first 3 days, which is insane for that game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be in the top 10 very soon. But I think what blew me away was just how much the top 5 games are selling on Nintendo Switch, because it's insane. We know like Nintendo games are evergreen. They just keep selling and selling. They never drop in price.
Yeah.
But just the amount of units sold for each game is just insane.
Yeah.
So I guess number 5 is Pokemon Let's Go, which is at 10.98 million units, which is, it's a Pokemon game, but I think for Let's Go, with like a lot of fans being like, this isn't what I want, and I think some people didn't buy it. I bought it and I really liked it. So yeah, Breath of the Wild was next at 13.61 million units. Super Smash Brothers at 14.73 million units. Mario Odyssey at 14.94 million units, and the top dog, as always, is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 17.89 million units. So, yeah, the top 5 have surpassed 10 million units, which is crazy for, like, a console that's been on the market for not even 3 years.
Yeah.
And these games are all exclusive to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so, I mean, what I was thinking about is just, like, back in the Wii U days, you would have never thought this could happen.
No way. Poor Wii U. Rest in poopies.
And just also keep in mind, I think, I will look it up, but I think Mario Kart 8 on Wii U sold almost like 10 million units less than it has on Switch.
Holy crap.
Almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not baggery.
Not battery. So I'll just look it up just in case I'm talking out my bum. Yes, I'm not talking out my bum. So Mario Kart 8 has sold 8.44 million units.
Wow.
So yes, it's going to be beaten by 10 plus million units on Switch, which just shows you the contrast between each one. You can look at the sales, like 36 for the Switch and 13 for the Wii U. You're like, oh my god, the Wii U's getting trounced. But even in like the games, millions more sold on Switch.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think I did read somewhere that the average, basically amount.
Actually, I think Mario. Yes, it has. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch has sold more units than the Wii U.
Oh yeah, by a fair bit.
Holy
by 5
crap.
million, yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow. Jesus.
I mean, it makes me happy to see that Nintendo's doing something the fans enjoy, something we're really we can really get around.
Yeah.
And it's working for them. It's making them money.
Yeah.
Which at the end of the day, that shows that that's something they can keep doing, keep putting out awesome games and good hardware. Even though there's a lot of things about the Switch we're like, we talked about the Joy-Con issues last week, and there's a fair few things on the Switch we're like, all right, this needs to be fixed, this needs to be changed. But I think when you really narrow down to what the Switch is, it's a good piece of kit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, that's enough talk about that. This surprised me last night, Bryce, that the Outer Worlds is heading to Nintendo Switch. You see this?
Only just as I got home today.
Yeah, so there isn't too much to say. Like Nintendo of America, they put out a video with one of the developers telling us about the Outer Worlds, and he basically finished up saying after its release on other platforms, it'll be coming to Switch soon. He didn't say 2019. He didn't say a date. Didn't say anything, but it will be coming to Switch.
Yeah, obviously they've got to do a lot more work on the Switch version for it to work. Then
I think it's very. I think it's just literally like, oh, we found someone to do it. Let's announce it. I don't think there's actually any work. Like, we didn't see any gameplay from a Switch version or anything. It was all from a PC version. Yeah. But Outer Worlds, that's something I'm looking forward to, because at E3 I'm like, this game looks really great. And I'm like, oh, I might get it. I've got a lot of Nintendo games to catch up on. Obviously the rest of this year is just ridiculous. Yeah. Like, hey, wait a minute, this is on Game Pass, isn't it? No, it's a no-brainer. Of course I'm going to download it. Give it a go. What's there to lose? Yeah. So, depending on how long it comes out after the Xbox version, I'll probably give it a go, I think. Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
So, Outer Worlds, you reckon you're going to give it a go?
I'll probably play it on my PC.
Yep.
Game Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass on that too.
Game Pass is beautiful.
Ooh. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It is.
Where's
such a beautiful thing.
Where's Game Pass, Nintendo? That's what I'm saying.
Nintendo gave us Game Pass. I think the world would turn upside down.
No, they gave us Game Pass for their first console, but just a couple of more consoles in that sort of subscription would be nice.
Yeah.
Even to Nintendo 64, just really, really butter us up, Nintendo. Come on,
that's it. Yeah, and you could. I mean, there is. Oh, I suppose we're going to talk about it later on anyway, so we'll talk about it then. Yeah,
just we'll talk about it later. Yeah. This is a quick one, Bryce, as well. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker gets Labo VR support. So this is a game that is just like made for this type of thing. Just having like little dioramas you can look around, and looking at the video, it looks really cool. You're just looking through your goggles and you can like move your head, sort of look at the level in different ways. And that's what you're basically doing in the game. You're like rotating the level to see if you can find the little nooks and crannies. I haven't tried Labo VR yet because, we're not going to pretend. Bryce and I have no interest in Labo. We tried out the first variety kit. And we're like,
no,
just nah, it's not for us. It's not. It's obviously not made for our demographic.
Yep.
So this won't be something I'll play, but I think it looks pretty good for as far as what you'd look for in Labo VR. Yeah. I'm looking on the official website too, so there's actually a fair few games that support Labo VR. So now you can play Mario Kart, Captain Toad, Super Smash Bros, which is just like the camera mode. You can't actually play the game in it. You'll probably throw up if you're trying to play Smash in VR. Super Mario Odyssey, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and Mario Kart 8. So there's actually a fair few first-party games that support it. Mm-hmm. And I think they'll just keep rolling out little patches to sort of include more games to sort of trying to get the $60 off you to buy a little bit of cardboard.
It'd be interesting to see if they would just make like a flat-out VR accessory.
Like a PlayStation VR type of like proper headset? Is that what you mean?
No, not quite, but like the same thing as a Nintendo Labo, but more like a plastic mold that isn't so breakable. Especially like the more continued support that's happening with these VR titles. It wouldn't surprise me if they put out something for $50 that's like, here's just the plastic VR helmet instead of a very, very breakable Labo kit.
Yeah, because all of these experiences are like things I'm like, I'd like to see what that plays like. Yeah. But I'm not going to go out and buy it.
No, I'm not going to go out and buy a Labo kit.
Yeah, because I love Captain Toad. I think it's an awesome game. And I look at this and I say, yes, supports it very well. If you have one, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. But I'm not going to go out and spend $60 just for the base cardboard set.
Yeah, for the Labo kit of all things. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's just so breakable for $60. It's just so breakable.
Yeah.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Kind of just tells me everything I need to know about it. I just like a basic plastic sort of shell that you can sort of sit your Switch in and test out all these VR things without the hubbub.
Yeah.
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 And I think you can agree with that anyway.
Yeah, I do agree.
Okay.
So classic Doom games are available on Nintendo Switch now. This came out of nowhere. So cool. So it was cool that they just released Doom 1, Doom 2, Doom 3 on Switch, but it sort of came with the issues that you had to sign into your Bethesda account.
Yeah, it's kind of silly.
But since then they have been like, all right, we're fixing it so you don't have to do that. I think it wasn't just an overlook or oversight on their behalf. I don't think it was them trying to do anything too dodgy, but it was especially on Switch where it's like
I really hope that's the case, because I'm pretty sure what I'd read, Doom 3 is DRM locked, so it's online only.
Yeah, because I think
that's kind of stupid.
Yeah, well, especially on the Switch, like on PlayStation, like do I have to sign into this? That's weird. Especially like it's not multiplayer or anything like that. It's not like you're logging into Fortnite or something like that. But yeah, it was sort of disappointing because it was like initially a cool thing, just out of nowhere, 3 Doom games. Oh, nice. Like they're pretty cheap. I think they're $7.50 in Australia, $5 in America.
Yeah.
Except for Doom 3, which is a bit more. It's 15 here and 10 over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just if they've sort of fixed those issues, so you don't have to worry about signing into accounts and that when you're not online, because that's a big thing with the Switch. I think they'll be pretty good pickups because they're not very expensive either.
Yep.
I don't really have much to say about them. I'm not really a big Doom guy, but
that's what they call the protagonist, Drew.
Doom guy.
Yeah.
Doom. This is just a small one as well. So the Western version of Dragon Quest 11S has gone gold. So awesome. That's going to be not delayed then if it's already gone gold. It's kind of funny because this when it came out on PlayStation last year, I was like, oh, I'd like to give that a go, but I use the same excuse I do all the time. Long game.
Don't have time.
Locked to my TV. Don't have time. Like last year, there was, I always prioritize Nintendo games, and it came out at a similar time to Pokemon and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just, that's my RPG for like the end of this year.
Yeah.
And I think with all the changes they're making to this one, because like I looked at a few reviews, and some of the biggest negatives for the game on PlayStation was that they don't use the orchestral soundtrack for the game. Yeah, they just used the MIDI, but there was an orchestral theme song or music for the game, but they weren't using it because the composer wanted to sell it separately or something. It was like it was a really weird deal. I was watching a review on YouTube. I can't shout out who I was watching, but yeah, I was like, that's weird. And then I went to the Nintendo video that had an E3 showing off the game. I'm like, all right, so what changes have you made? Because I'm like curious between like the negatives on the PlayStation and now the definitive edition, what's actually changed? And the first thing there is like, yeah, we've got the orchestral music in there. I'm like, oh, well, they fixed that. And then like some of the other things like, it's too slow. Like they've put like an ultra fast battle mode in there. I'm like, awesome. Like they've just like really everything that the reviewers that I've seen didn't like about the game, they're like fixing in this.
Cool.
And obviously there's the mode where you can go and play the retro style, what looks like on like SNES and stuff like that too, which would be really cool if you want to play it a couple of times in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully it comes out September. I know like September, November, these end months, it's just like really busy on the farm. So how much time I'll get to sink into these multiple 100-hour RPGs, I don't know.
You won't?
Yeah, probably won't. But, the desire is there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
yes,
awesome.
for us all.
This is Astral Chain. Did you watch this trailer, Bryce?
I didn't. I still got to watch it.
Okay, we won't talk about it too much. But if you guys are interested in Astral Chain, Nintendo uploaded a 8-minute sort of walkthrough of the game, some of the mechanics and that. And it looks really good. All the legions and everything in there. There's 5 different legions, all different and unique to one another. There's skill trees for them all. The combat looks awesome. Looks really good. Can't wait for it. That's the next first-party Nintendo game coming out.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's kind of those things I want to sort of pick up unhinged.
Yeah, same.
You know,
Here. Yeah.
I don't want to be like, okay, this is what to expect from it. This is what to whatever, because it already looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, because like I hadn't looked into it at all apart from this, and like at E3 we see the trailer like, oh, that looks really flashy and cool, and it's a platinum game. You're gonna be hitting a few buttons and beating some demonic things up, but it's like, what is it? It's like, oh, that's what it is. You've got these legions, you level them up. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's one that looks like a dog, and it's cute, and it's called Legion Claw or Claw Legion or something. Pretty cool. Go and watch the trailer if you want to see more.
Pretty dope.
And Bryce, this is one I think I might give to you, mate, because you're a big Dragalia Lost fanatic.
Yep. Yes, I am. Dragalia Lost is now Nintendo's second most successful mobile title because it deserves to be there. In fact, it deserves to be on top, above its competitor. So,
but it's nowhere near.
It is nowhere near, but it should be. It should be above that after, all the positive shit that Dragalia does for Nintendo's mobile infrastructure. So it's only beaten out by Fire Emblem Heroes, which is at what, Drew? I can't see.
So Fire Emblem Heroes has made Nintendo $591 million.
Yep.
Whereas the second position, Dragalia Lost, has made them $100 million. So the gap between them both, as far as financial position, is just like huge. It just shows you like Fire Emblem's power as far as being a mobile game.
Okay, well, I kind of want to address the clarity here a bit in saying that Fire Emblem being as high as it is not just due to the fact of Fire Emblem being big. It is also down to people overspending because the game has some very WoW-heavy mechanics in it.
Yeah.
So, Nintendo has a pretty average market overall for their mobile games. Nothing too crazy, nothing too over the top, but there are a couple that are sort of like, spend money, you do yourself a favor. And Dragalia Lost, for being something that is in second place, that isn't really that much on that spectrum, is pretty good. The Dragalia team are always giving out free stuff all the time for you to do any of the sort of like mobile purchase type things like rolling for units and stuff like that. They give out free units with every event almost. Mm-hmm. Dragalia is very non-pay to win friendly.
Yeah.
So, whereas Fire Emblem Heroes, if you want to be competitive in Fire Emblem Heroes and you're not spending money, then you're not playing competitively.
Yeah. I guess that's the thing, though. Like, they've made a game that's more friendly and, when you spend money, that's because you really want it. Yeah. Whereas in Fire Emblem, like, even if it is, like, really gouging you for your money, it's made them an extra almost $500 million, which is just a bonkers amount of money.
It is, yeah, but it's not for the right reasons either.
No.
It's like, hey, look, you've got this unit, it's 5-star, right? And you want it to be the absolute best it can be so you can take it into competitive situations. It's like, okay, well, not only are you going to need that unit, but you are also going to need 9 other copies of that unit so that you can fuse them together so they get plus levels.
Yeah.
And that unit has a drop rate of like 0.3%. Or 3% or something along the lines of that. And it's like, okay, so what can you do? It's like, all right, you can grind out orbs. And to be fair, Fire Emblem Heroes does give you a lot of freemium currency. But you will run out of that wellspring eventually. I know I have. I've run out of that wellspring. And you will have to rely on your wallet. There's no way about it. You can just play the game, enjoy the story that's in it and all that, whatever. Absolutely free. It's perfectly fine. But if you're that interested that you want to compete with players around the world, you're going to be spending money. You're not going to have a fun time with your wallet. And this sales figure should show you that.
Yeah.
That the reason that they're making so money is because competitive people need to pay money to keep competing.
Mm. Yeah, it's one of those things like with EA and all that. Like the main gaming community is like, this sucks, I hate it. but it makes them so much money, and
People buy into it.
people buy into it. Whether it's the people complaining but still buying into it, or it's just more of a casual market out there, which is probably more of what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you know the FIFA cards and all that. Like to me, that sounds ridiculous, but there's so many. They make billions of dollars just from that.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah,
Mm.
it's ridiculous, honestly.
So yeah, good on you, Nintendo.
Yeah,
I'm glad your bloody mobile thing's working for you. Good on you.
I'm
know?
happy for Dragalia. I'm really happy for Dragalia. Dragalia deserves to be up there. That game is insanely good on so many levels. It's insanely free player friendly. And now that they're introducing stuff like guilds and the ability to chat to other people who are in your guild and all that's fantastic. I love that. It's good.
It does show you too. Like Animal Crossing is just below it. It's made like $1 million less from Dragalia at 99 million. And that game, it really you're not that required to be spending money. Like you can like save up your Leaf tickets and like get your stuff that way. So that is a bit kinder. And obviously Mario Run, that was one of the first games which is just like, just buy it, 16 Australian dollars, then you can do whatever you like. And that only made them $72 million. And that's Mario. That you would have thought that would have just skyrocketed anything Nintendo puts out. But
I mean, I do understand their sentiment with Mario Run and what they were trying to do, and that's great and everything. But looking at it from the perspective of like Angry Birds was $1. Look how much Angry Birds sold. And then look how much Mario Run sold. It's like you probably could have just sold Mario Run for $1 and got it to Angry Birds level of success and still would have made just as much money.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just Nintendo's sort of attitude of our software is worth something. It's worth more than $1.
Yeah.
But they're in the wrong market for that, obviously, because that's what happened to Mario Run. People were just like, I'm not paying that. And I never bought it.
No.
That's because at the time when it came out, I'm working on the farm. I'm out of service. I want to play a silly Mario game because I don't have my DS at the time with me. But I couldn't play offline.
Yeah.
So I had no need for it. When I'm home or I'm in service, I do not need to be playing Mario Run on my phone. I've got other things to play.
Yeah.
I've got things to watch. I've got many more things. I didn't care that much about Mario Run personally, but
No.
so that's personally what wrecked it for me. Just that one thing. They could have just said, "Oh, you can play it offline. It's a mobile game." No shit. Of course you can play it offline.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
exactly.
Someone who works in an office or something in town and they just want to play it in the lunch break, and that was never an issue for them. That's fine. But it was for me.
Yeah.
And I guess Miyamoto in Kyoto is not thinking about little rural boy in Australia without any service.
No. Yeah.
So what are you going to do? And actually, it is interesting too. At the 5th is Dr. Mario World already at 790,000.
That's people love the puzzle games though.
Yeah, I haven't actually played it yet because
No, I haven't
I haven't bothered. To be honest.
No, I've been too busy with other things.
Yeah, I've been too.
Yeah.
Like anything. And this brings us to the last thing, Bryce, which is Super Smash Brothers.
Yes.
So I assume you actually watched Sakurai's presentation. Just before we get into sort of what was discussed, I thought it was so funny at the start. Like, all right, we've got this is going to be more of a live stream sort of presentation. The budget was pretty low on this. When you hear someone in the background laugh, how good was that?
Yeah.
It's just like you can see him like smirking towards the camera, and just like, yeah, we didn't have much money to make this. But there's someone in the background just like the cameraman or something. I thought that was great. I'm like, I don't know how many people would have picked up on that, but I'm like, wow, this is. But then he proceeded. And it was edited in. It did have gameplay edited in and all that. It was like similar to what he's done in the past. So I don't know what he was on about.
I mean, he still played the game himself and
Yeah.
did whatever and did more of like a live stream-esque vibe play of the hero. But it definitely was just a big old edited video.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed it because it really did show us everything we would need to know. Like, people like us, like, all right, what is this character? Mm-hmm. Like, we know everything about the character. And when we got the character for ourselves, we sort of understood like his down B a bit more. And because otherwise, if you didn't watch that, like, you're like, oh god, what is this? Who is this thing?
what is going on here? Yeah.
So just before we jump into the hero himself. There was some things introduced in 4.0, the update to Super Smash Brothers that actually launched today. So a very easy difficulty mode has been added to adventure mode. Snapchat, no, it's not Snapchat. So snapshots can be added in the timeline in video editing. Steel, grass, sponge, paper, and yarn terrains have been adjusted in the stage builder. So awesome! I'm sure you've been waiting for that one. The following spirits will appear in the shop in the vault menu. So slime, Draki, grape, scale crab, golem, liquid metal slime, Cetera. I don't know all these Dragon Quest characters.
Cetacean.
And the hero's comrades. A new online tournament mode has been added, which looks really good. That's probably the biggest feature I see in 4.0. I think that's something I'll utilize fairly often. Just go in there and say, there you go. Instead of just going to a random match, hopefully it doesn't lag as much as it has been. But a support function to predict the winner of a spectacle battle to earn points has been added. That looks really fun. If you're just like watching YouTube or something, and you're just like chilling out, but you want to you can just put that up on like my second monitor, for example, and just sort of watch a Smash tournament, sort of, and try and earn coins that way. I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that's just a nice little thing. And we had some Mii costumes, which I won't go all into, but the slime hat looks cool. I might pick up the slime hat.
Yeah. It's all Dragon Quest stuff anyway.
Yeah, it's all Dragon Quest stuff. So yeah, and there was a heap of sort of balance changes to the characters, but obviously we're not going to go into that either. But actually, no, we do have a bit more here. Once the final Smash meter has been fully charged, the final Smash cannot be used within 20 seconds, or the final Smash meter will reset. So that's something different for that special Smash mode.
Yep.
Which is interesting, because you've had all these different ones where it's got like percentage and it's like a normal fighting game and all that. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just adding in nice little things, really. 3.0, there was obviously the stage builder and some bigger things that we're more excited about. This is just like, here's the tournament mode, here's a few changes and whatever, but nothing too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, well, you could have said you're wrong. So the hero himself, Bryce, how much have experience, well, not how much experience, but how much have you played with him today? Because he's just come out
maybe
today
an hour.
recording. An hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I played probably an hour when he came out this morning, and then like a couple of rounds with you, and that's what I've played. I haven't played a whole lot, but I think he's a lot of fun. I really like him. I think he's going to be a character I'm going to stick with and sort of
work him out.
Yeah, work him out. And
yeah,
because I know of Joker. Joker was like a much bigger character. Like, wow, Joker from Persona 5, but I didn't really gel with him that much. Like, he's fine. I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but it's a character where I picked him up. I'm like, yeah, cool. But with the hero, I'm like, this is something I like. I like this guy. Yeah. How about you? How do you feel about him?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for the most part he's kind of just the same. Like, I'm a sword fighter person, and I definitely get sick of the people being like, sword fighter characters in Smash Brothers. Like, I hate that. I mean, just let us have the sword characters. Who gives a shit?
It's like the Gun Boys and PlayStation Battle All-Star Royale.
All-Star Battle Royale. But like, I feel like he is kind of just another sword character with
some nice perks.
Some very, very nice perks. Like, I kind of just want to rectify the fact that Link gets a boomerang, he gets some detonatable bombs, he gets a bow and arrow, and then the rest of it's pretty much his sword, right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the hero. The hero has like a lightning spin, a projectile fireball. He has a whirlwind tornado thing. All three of those have 3 different stages. Then you've got his down B, which can be a freezing slash, a sleeping spell, instant kill move,
self-destruct move.
A self-destruct move. Like, he's got so much. They've literally said he's got the most amount of moves in his kit than any character in the game.
By far, yeah.
By far.
But what I really like about his down B, so when you hit down B, that's when the menu will come up where you can select, I guess, what special ability you get or how you use like your main magic abilities. and there's more than 4, but there's only 4 that come up at a time, and it's just random. So when you hit, like with a Shulk, for example, you know what's going to come up. You know if you want to go defensive or you want to be faster, and you know that will be there. But when you go down B with the hero, you're like, all right, what have I got? And you're really quickly on the fly reading like what they are, and like, all right, sword slash, like, I really like how quick it is and how you've got to like think on the fly with what you get.
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing that's going to be the killer for this move, majorly, is that, like, to be honest, in a practical battle situation, you're not going to have much use for it. I guess, like, the problem with Super Smash Brothers is combat is very high octane, and it rarely ever shifts from that, so you have to be very quick on the ball if you're going to use these spells. And like it's going to bring it down to the wire, where only a bunch of people, like a handful of people, are going to be quick enough to be able to sight read all of those spells and just go yep, bang, immediately.
Yeah, for sure. But the ones that do,
they're going to excel.
That'll be really impressive. And you can use it for edge guarding and stuff. Like, if someone else is jumping back onto the stage, you can be like, all right, I've got time. Be like, looking at what have I got here? Bang, boom. And something like that.
I do feel like he's a little bit overtuned. Just a smidgen. Because, as I mentioned to you earlier, I fully charged... in my testings, I fully charged a side B, which is the Thunder move. I hit an enemy with it, right? That immediately took them to 42%. They flew off the edge a bit. I dropped down on top of them as they were falling. I charged up a windmill, let the windmill go, and that immediately flung them under the stage, hit the stage, and then fall to non-recovery status.
Poor boy.
That was 2 hits. Like, I feel like... And
is that just because you're so good, though?
No.
No.
That was very basic. That was a very basic type of thing you can do with like a lot of characters. But the problem is that to do that with those characters, you generally have to do it a lot more. Like you have to combo a lot more consistently prior. Like, you have to build up a bit of damage, enough to knock them off the stage, and then once you've done that, it's like, good, you've done that.
Is he going to be the next Bayonetta? Because Bayonetta, when she initially came out on the Wii U as DLC, she was overpowered, and the Smash community was like, I hate this this character. And anyone, I think it was a Evo, or there was some tournament where the 2 people that made it to the finals both chose Bayonetta, and they just ended up like basically just fucking around, just mucking around with each other, and I think they got booed. That's a
very good question, actually, because I feel like the thing is like in his down special, he has a lot of moves that are extremely powerful. Like, he's got the boom spells, and then you've got the Psych Up, and you've got what's it called? Hatchet Man, and you've got Thwack, which is an instant kill. You combine that with something like Snooze or the Frizzle Slash, which freezes your opponents.
Yeah.
Right. You combine those spells, and if you're lucky enough to pop an instant kill spell and it does instant kill them, holy shit, that's annoying. Like, you can just snooze somebody and then just walk up to them, get a lucky proc, and even if it's not the instant kill one, if your enemy's at 50%, Hatchet Man's probably going to do a shit ton of damage, if not kill them. And there's not much you can do about it. I feel like he's got a lot of high-powered moves in his kit alone, let alone to like have like a heal, a sleep, a freeze. Like, holy shit, he's literally the CC master. He's got so much CC. And on the unfortunity of like, if you accidentally hit Kamikaze, it's like, oh, well, you fucked up. But if you do hit your opponent with Kamikaze, if they're high enough, they're probably going to kill them anyway.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
Like, it's really... his kit is so loaded that it's just like, okay, if you want to have a loaded kit, that's great, but there's a lot of his moves. They hit like 40%.
Yeah, I've got no problem with how versatile he is, because I love that. I think it's really
versatility's
cool.
Great.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I like... I'm not going to say he's overpowered just yet. I'd like to see how like more professional players using him, and just online in general. Like, we've seen like King K. Rool like King K. Rool, I don't think was overpowered, in quotes. He wasn't overpowered, but he was just very good. And he was very defensive and very strong. So he's just very good in multiple aspects.
He's definitely overtuned. On release, he was definitely overtuned. Yeah.
I don't know what they've done to him since. If we look at the patch notes, we'll be able to see probably. But yeah. So yeah, I really like him. He's probably my favorite DLC character so far.
No. I feel like they put a lot more effort into him. If that makes sense.
Because I know at E3 when they announced the hero from Dragon Quest, it's like everyone was just like, "Oh, okay, this is your announcement." But I think Dragon Quest, like I said before, is one of my most anticipated games this year. I'm not a big. I've never played through a Dragon Quest game before.
Yeah.
But with this one, I'm really keen, and having him come to Smash Bros. And a character that I really like to play.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be really cool. Yeah.
Look, I like the fact that he's in the game or anything like that, and I'm definitely a lot more excited now just playing him than I was about him the first go around. I mean, nothing. The problem is he's got to compete with Banjo for me.
That's the thing. We were we're waiting for Banjo or some huge Megaton announcement, something like that.
Yeah, and it was just a hero from Dragon Quest. Yeah.
And it was rumored. It was rumored for ages. We're probably going to see the hero or whatever the hero's name was.
But I kind of hope we've obviously got some stuff left in the pipeline. We've had Joker, we've got the hero now, we've got Banjo, we've got two characters left. If the hero is the character they're going to pull out all the stops for, then I'm not sure I'm 100% happy with it. They're like, oh, we've got literally they got 8 music tracks. They've got 8 music tracks in his stage. Yeah. They've got 4 different character skins with 4 different alternates.
Yeah, it's really cool.
They have a character that has a moveset so chocked that it literally beats any other character in the game by a huge margin. I feel like if you're going to put that much content into one set in the DLC, then it's going to make everything else look pretty unappealing unless you really pull out a stop.
Yeah, maybe. I just with Dragon Quest, you've got such history with the series, with the amount of spells and the amount of moves, the amount of characters. You sort of need to put all of that in there.
But you could say that about Final Fantasy.
You could, and they did put a lot into Cloud as well.
No, I wouldn't say they put a shit ton into Cloud. They put his signature moves in there, and the Omni Slash.
And remember, Cloud is Cloud. He's not all of the heroes from not Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy.
No,
as
I
well.
get that, but there was a lot of shit they could have put in there from there as well. Like materia was a thing, and summons were a thing, and they had the summons in the stage, but they didn't have materia. They didn't have materia, which was the main mechanic in Final Fantasy VII.
Bryce, are you a bit salty that they've
I'm not
put effort into a character?
No, I'm saying that I feel like they've put a lot of effort into this character, and I'd say they'd put probably more effort than they've put into any other character that they've done for DLC so far.
And that's a good thing. I think that's good.
I think it is a good thing, but how unappealing is it going to be if the next character that comes out is oh shit, it's the Chorus Man.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The problem is it's Banjo's that lives up to the hype. That's holy shit, people have wanted Banjo since Melee. Banjo, you can't fuck up Banjo. It's really hard to fuck up Banjo.
Nah. By looks of the gameplay, they've nailed it too.
They've absolutely just looking at it, and Spiral Mountain, oh boy.
Oh, that's I'm not a huge Banjo guy like you, but just looking at that, I'm oh my god,
Spiral Mountain.
Especially from these series, we see the Mario Galaxy sort of stage in on the Wii U version. They made it HD. Oh, that looks nicer than it did on Wii. Oh, maybe Mario Galaxy 3. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. But seeing a Nintendo 64 game get that jump, you're oh my god,
oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But with these two characters, obviously we weren't as excited for the hero, but now that the hero's out, it's obvious that they've put a lot of love into him, more than they've done any other DLC character, and Banjo is a very largely requested character to be in the game, and he's looking fantastic. He's looking true to form. He's looking like the way we want him. He's not big old box nose Banjo. He's back to his original bottle nose looking self.
Thank God for that.
But that leaves 2 character slots left. They really have to hit them out of the ballpark for it to be appealing.
Yeah,
like we've had Joker, for God's sakes. We've had the hero from Dragon Quest, which is again packed.
I'm honestly, there's that many characters in the game now. I'm like, oh, I'm out of ideas. I don't know. I don't know what I really want them to be. I've got like a few like niche Nintendo characters I'd like to see, but apart from that, like big, like just knock it out the park. Like, you know, talking with Microsoft to revive Banjo-Kazooie in the game. Like,
I think it's very important that like if we do want to look towards the future now for DLC characters, we're going to have to pay attention to who Nintendo's got partnerships with.
just 2 Fire Emblem characters, probably.
Byleth.
Yeah. Like, do you see anyone from Fire Emblem coming in again? 3 houses?
Nah.
You don't see him doing more Fire Emblem?
No, I feel like they're making a very serious push into having this Smash Pass being exclusively outside of Nintendo's realms. You know, and I think that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I feel like if you pass these last 2 characters off as just Nintendo characters, I don't think it'd capture anyone too well. Especially if it's somebody that like Waluigi. Like, you get some people to be like, oh, finally my baby Waluigi's in the game.
Waluigi!
But then a lot of people are going to turn around and argue he should have just been in the game to begin with. He's a Nintendo property and he's a part of their main lineup. And then they're going to disappoint people with that, aren't they? They're going to be like, oh, well, yeah, I guess.
Everyone's going to be like, finally, Waluigi, my favourite Nintendo character.
But I have to pay for him.
And they'll play a couple of games with him, and that was fun, and they just like snap their Switch in half and go on with the day.
Like, yeah.
Waluigi won't be there, guys. I hate to tell you.
No,
he won't be.
With the 3 characters that we've had so far, I find it wildly like, unless he's released for free as a free character, which I could see happening, but with everything that they're sort of putting.
Well, they had the opportunity. They're like, oh well, we've got Piranha Plant, we've got like Waluigi. What are some just like a basic characters from maybe Mario or something? They chose Piranha Plant. They did not choose Waluigi.
Yeah,
and this would have been planned years ago, probably with the initial lineup of like characters.
Yeah.
And Waluigi was not chosen. I don't know why they'd be chosen for the freaking DLC.
No, he won't be.
No.
Yeah. No way in hell.
Do you have anyone who you're like, oh, I'd like to see them, or they might have a chance? Because I don't really. Like, I've gotten my characters, man. Like, I really wanted to see Banjo just for like the hype factor and to see you happy. We've got that. What else is there? I know there's like, you know, heaps of stuff. Like, as far as like Nintendo universes go, I've said this before, but like, you know, Hades from Kid Icarus Uprising, I'd love to see him. He had so much personality, and I could see him having a really cool moveset. But obviously, at the same time, having the villain from Kid Icarus Uprising in the DLC is like, oh, that's boring.
I tell you what. What I do want is I want indie representation. I want an indie represent.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So, at this point, it's pretty limited on what we could have. But I think the best picks for that at the moment are Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight, and Shantae. Not in that order.
Yeah.
But like Shantae's been around since the Game Boy.
Remember, Shovel Knight is in the game though. He's a assist trophy.
True. Then Shantae
said that would be an interesting one. But
well, Shantae's been around since the Game Boy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, if Shovel Knight wasn't already in the game, I'd probably say Shovel Knight had the biggest chance of getting there. But since it's already there,
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. Like, I would have said that about Smash Wii U. I wouldn't say that about these days.
Okay.
I feel like Shovel Knight's run his course. You know.
Yeah.
He's kind of. They've kind of had the. I'm not saying that like the game's run its course. The game's obviously still great, but I feel like
they still got DLC coming out for it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I just feel like the idea of Shovel Knight being in the game has probably run its course.
Well, Shantae definitely had the most unique moveset.
Shantae is one of the most requested characters at the moment.
So that'd be cool. I would like to see that.
I would like to see that.
Especially just getting the Shantae music in Smash Bros.
Oh yeah,
that alone, just
yeah,
that'd be good.
Ooh. But
actually, Rayman. I forgot about Rayman. I'd love to see Rayman. Rayman's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, you know what? That could probably happen because simply because of the Ubisoft partnerships we've had. But my worry is that would get a rabbit instead, and
Yeah, obviously.
I'm not interested.
But even in like the Rayman Legends and Origin games, like when you hold in B, you do like charge up punch.
Yeah.
It felt like a Smash Bros move in those games. I'm like, I could really see like, holding the punch down, and like I think it'd be really cool to have Rayman there. So yeah, that was one ages ago. I'm like, I'd like to see Rayman, but I forgot about Rayman because Ubisoft stopped making freaking Rayman games, and they just make
rabbit games.
Oh, they have a partner with Nintendo and make a Mario plus Rabbids, or they just do online only. Here's you guys with guns, or your warriors, or you're a watchdog. That's what Ubisoft do.
Yeah,
and that's fine. They've obviously found their
niche.
Yeah.
But they trucked away a really good IP.
Yeah, because when they were doing that indie initiative, like with the UB Arts,
yeah,
like with Rayman, I'm like, that caught my eye just straight away. I'm like, this looks beautiful. In fact, I think they beat Mario for like years and years in the 2D department, just how good those games were. Mm-hmm. And then they sort of like did Valiant Hearts and all of these really interesting different games, which were like $30, a little bit cheaper. And then they just sort of dropped it. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh, now they're just doing because like I think their E3 presentation just sort of nailed it for me. Just like, oh, it's Tom Clancy this, Tom Clancy that. It's like, okay, that's fine. But there's so many games where I can put a silencer on my gun and be like, cool, yeah. I don't know. That's just me personally. I'm obviously not against shooting games. I obviously quite like them, but there's too many of them.
Yeah. There's too many to choose from, not enough to draw you in. Yeah, and I feel the same way. It was the same way with Division 2, unfortunately.
Yeah. And like I've bought the Division and all that. Like, I've played plenty of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, whatever.
But yeah, I don't know. An indie representative is probably all I want to see in the Smash roster for the DLC. I think Shantae is probably the best pick for that. Popularity is pretty huge for Shantae. Being a Nintendo veteran all the way back on the Game Boy, could happen. So that's probably like the only thing I've got going in my head at the moment, and unless I can think of something else, then yeah.
Something from EA.
Oh please. Yeah, the new protagonist from the new Star Wars game that's voiced and mocapped by that guy who played the gay guy off of Shameless, who has like early onset dementia. Yeah,
I know nothing about the voice actor for that, but okay.
I do.
That's good. So
he plays the Joker in Titans, I think.
Oh, fantastic.
There you go.
Another thing I have no idea about.
the Teen Titans show.
I know the Teen Titans show. I've just never watched it.
Yeah, it's the Titans.
Should I watch it? Is it good?
Or was it in the... I don't know. He plays the Joker at some point anyway.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I know all this shit.
Yeah.
You should keep up with your pop culture references. You've got a fucking podcast for that, you dolt.
Well, not really. I don't have to talk about bloody Star Wars here.
No, I'm saying you've got one you can listen to.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Dash Culture. Dashculture.com. Go and have a listen. Buddy Watson. Dash.
Bud Dash.
Yeah. I haven't heard him talk about it yet, though, so blame Dash. Anyway, Bryce, let's end the show there. What do you think? What do you think about this episode, mate? Yeah. Oh, awesome. Everybody, thank you very much for listening to the House of Mario, episode 109. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe and leave a review on your podcast player of choice. And Bryce, if someone's like, you know what, Bryce, he talks like a wizard, awesome bloke, where would they find you on Twitter?
At Ivy Revan.
And you can find me at iDruby, and you can find the show at the House of Mario. And if you'd like to join our Discord community to talk with us and our awesome community there, you can find the invitation in the show notes below. I'm just watching your text.
That's all right, mate. I'm just asking my partner if she wants anything for dessert so I can grab it on the way home.
Awesome. You're going to ask me, what do I want for dessert?
What do you want for dessert, Drew?
Chocolate Bavarian, thanks, mate.
Chocolate Bavarian? All right, you have to go get it yourself, though.
Oh, you cheeky little boy.
They're only $3, mate.
Yeah,
you can do it, I'm sure.
I know, black and gold. They are not too bad if I say so myself.
They're pretty good, mate.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you'd like to support the show a little bit more, we do have a Patreon at patreon.com/iDruby. Over there you can get exclusive access to Bryce and I's new podcast, Crackin' Furfies, where we just talk about anything that we don't talk about under a certain red plumber's roof. And there's also other perks and goodies over there. So check out the link in the show notes below if that interests you.
Hell yeah.
Who said that? Who's in the house? I don't hear that. Okay. Anyway, Bryce, Nintendo Jukebox this week is a Dragon Quest remix.
Beautiful.
It is by Yuki Yachida on SoundCloud. Oh God, I can't read names for shit.
You just can't read Japanese names.
Yeah, I can't read Jap. I'm sorry. Like, you know, I do. We do a bloody Nintendo on. Not doing Nintendo. I can't talk either.
Who do a Nintendo on a podcast?
Yeah, we do a Nintendo on a podcast, and I can't read Japanese names. Just needs to be something I need to work on. Anyway, so Dragon Quest Fighting Spirit remix. It's good.
Beautiful.
Thank you. If you enjoy the remix, click over and check out his stuff on SoundCloud and give him a like and a follow and all that fun stuff.
Hell yes.
Anyway, until next week, we will see you later, alligator.
In a while, crocodile.
Don't forget your dunny paper.
No, that would be bad.